Here's a hard truth: nobody cares as much as you think they do. Nobody's losing sleep over your struggles, your failures, or even your dreams. And that's not a bad thing. It's a call to action, a challenge to focus entirely on the one person who can truly change your life. You. Think about it. Everyone's consumed by their own battles, their own dreams, their own insecurities. So why waste your energy worrying about what others think? The truth is, you are the protagonist of your story, no one else. It's time to take control. Here's the truth about seeking validation. It's a never-ending chase, a treadmill that keeps you running but takes you nowhere. It's human nature to want approval, to feel acknowledged, and to be seen. From childhood, we're conditioned to seek praise from parents, teachers, and peers. It's a deeply ingrained habit, reinforced by society and culture. But as you grow older, as you strive for independence and self-actualization, this habit can become a trap. It can hold you back, stifle your potential, and keep you tethered to the opinions of others. Think about the energy you spend crafting the perfect social media post, agonizing over the right angle, the best filter, and the most compelling caption. You wait for the likes and comments to roll in, refreshing your feed, seeking that little dopamine hit that comes with every notification. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why does this matter? Why am I letting a fleeting moment of attention define my worth? The truth is, validation from others is fleeting. It's shallow and temporary, and it doesn't fill the deeper voids within. When you rely on external validation, you're handing over the keys to your self-esteem. You're saying, my worth is not determined by me, but by others. And that's a dangerous place to be, because people are fickle. Their opinions change. What they value today may be irrelevant tomorrow. Building your self-worth on such a shaky foundation is like constructing a house on sand. It's bound to collapse. Consider the energy you waste worrying about what others think of you. Before making a decision, you pause, thinking, what will they say? You're at the gym, hesitant to try a new exercise because you're worried someone might judge your form. You're in a meeting, holding back a great idea because you fear sounding foolish. Every moment spent in this state of hesitation is a moment lost, a moment that could have been spent growing, learning, and progressing. The reality is, most people are too busy worrying about their own lives to truly care about yours. They're consumed by their own insecurities, their own struggles, and their own goals. If they do judge you, it's often a reflection of their own issues, not yours. People project their fears and inadequacies because it's easier than facing them head-on. So when you're worried about what someone else thinks, remember, their opinion says more about them than it does about you. What would happen if you stopped seeking validation altogether? Imagine the freedom of living life on your own terms, guided by your own values and priorities. Imagine the power of making decisions based on what feels right to you, not what looks good to others. When you shift your focus inward, you reclaim your energy. You stop being a people pleaser and start being your own person. This doesn't mean you should dismiss constructive feedback or become arrogant. It means learning to differentiate between value input and noise. It means recognizing that your worth is not up for debate. Focusing on yourself doesn't make you selfish, it makes you strong. It's about understanding that you are the constant in your life. Friends may come and go, careers may shift, circumstances may change, but you are always there, and the relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for everything else. When you build self-confidence, self-respect, and self-worth from within, you create a solid base that can withstand the ups and downs of life. So how do you break free from the need for validation? Start by acknowledging it. Be honest with yourself about how often you seek approval and how it affects your decisions. Awareness is the first step to change. Once you're aware, challenge yourself to act independently of others' opinions. For example, if you're hesitating to wear something bold because you're afraid of judgment, wear it anyway. If you're holding back a unique idea because you're worried about criticism, share it anyway. Every time you act in defiance of your need for validation, you strengthen your independence. Next, focus on building internal validation. This means setting your own standards for success and measuring yourself against them, not against others. It means celebrating your achievements, no matter how small, and giving yourself credit where it's due. It's about finding joy and pride in your efforts, regardless of whether anyone else notices. Internal validation comes from knowing you've done your best, that you've stayed true to your values, and that you're growing as a person. Another powerful tool is self-compassion. Often, our need for validation stems from a fear of failure or rejection. We're afraid that if we're not perfect, we won't be worthy of love or respect. But perfection is an illusion, and failure is a natural part of growth. When you practice self-compassion, you learn to accept yourself, flaws and all. You learn to forgive your mistakes and view them as opportunities to learn, rather than as proof of inadequacy. Self-compassion helps you let go of the unrealistic expectations that fuel your need for validation. Your attitude is another area firmly within your control. Think about how often we let external events dictate our mood. A rude comment from a stranger, a bad day at work, or a disappointing outcome can send us spiraling into negativity. But what if you decided not to give those events the power to affect you? What if you chose to approach each day with a positive, resilient attitude? It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about refusing to let the negatives outweigh the positives. By choosing a constructive attitude, you take charge of your emotional well-being. Then there's your effort. No matter what's happening around you, you always have control over how much effort you put in. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, effort is something you can control completely. You can decide to show up, to give your best, and to keep pushing forward even when things get tough. Effort is where real progress happens. It's not about waiting for perfect conditions or external motivation. It's about taking consistent action day after day. Your habits are another critical area of control. The choices you make daily shape your life over time. You can choose to adopt habits that nurture your body, mind, and soul. For instance, you can control whether you exercise regularly, eat healthily, or get enough sleep. You can control how much time you dedicate to learning new skills, reflecting on your goals, or connecting with loved ones. By focusing on building good habits, you create a foundation for long-term success and well-being. It's also important to recognize that controlling your focus is a form of power. In a world filled with distractions, the ability to direct your attention is a superpower. Think about how easy it is to get sidetracked by social media, endless notifications, or the constant demands of modern life. But you have the choice to say no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. Whether it's a project at work, a passion you're pursuing, or simply being present with your family, the ability to focus amplifies your impact. Let's talk about goals. One of the most empowering things you can control is the direction of your life. By setting clear, meaningful goals, you give yourself something to aim for. But it's not just about setting the goal. It's about breaking it down into actionable steps that you can control. For example, you can't control whether your business idea will become an instant success, but you can control how much research you do, how hard you work to refine your product, and how consistently you market it. Success isn't about guarantees. It's about stacking the odds in your favor through deliberate actions. Now, let's address relationships. You can't control other people's behavior, but you can control how you respond to them. You can choose to set boundaries, to communicate effectively, and to walk away from toxic situations. Relationships thrive when you focus on what you bring to the table: kindness, respect, and authenticity. When you stop trying to control others and start focusing on your actions, you'll find more peace and healthier connections. Focusing on what you can control also helps you build resilience. Life will throw curveballs, plans will fall apart, and challenges will arise. But when you've trained yourself to focus on your response, you're better equipped to handle adversity. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the things you can't change, you'll feel empowered by the things you can. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardships. It's about facing them head-on and coming out stronger. One powerful practice is mindfulness. Being present in the moment helps you focus on what truly matters. When you're mindful, you're less likely to get caught up in worries about the past or the future. You're more aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, which allows you to make intentional choices. Mindfulness is a skill that grows with practice, and it's one of the most effective ways to regain control in a chaotic world. Another key aspect of control is self-discipline. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline isn't glamorous, but it's the backbone of success. It's what keeps you going when motivation wanes. Whether it's sticking to a workout routine, saving money, or staying focused on a long-term goal, discipline is the tool that turns intentions into achievements. As you focus on what you can control, you'll start to notice a shift. You'll feel less stressed, less overwhelmed, and more in charge of your life. You'll find that the things you can control, your mindset, effort, habits, and focus, have a ripple effect on everything else. When you take ownership of these areas, you're better prepared to handle whatever life throws your way. Ultimately, focusing on what you can control is about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that while you can't control the waves, you can learn to surf. It's about choosing to live intentionally rather than reacting to the world around you. When you focus on what you can control, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. And in that space of empowerment, you'll find the freedom to create a life that truly reflects your values and aspirations. Discipline is the cornerstone of personal success and growth. It's the bridge between setting a goal and achieving it. Without discipline, even the best intentions can fall apart and dreams remain unfulfilled. Yet, discipline is often misunderstood. People see it as restrictive, a series of rules that limit freedom. In truth, discipline is not about confinement but empowerment. It's about creating structure that allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters and make consistent progress toward your goals. Think about the moments in life when you've felt frustrated or stuck. Maybe you've had big dreams but struggled to follow through. Maybe you've started projects with enthusiasm but lost momentum along the way. These moments aren't failures of talent or intelligence. They're often failures of discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation fades, and it's what separates those who merely dream from those who achieve. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to build habits. Habits are the foundation of our daily lives. They shape our routines, our decisions, and ultimately our outcomes. When you practice discipline, you're not just completing a task, you're training yourself to build habits that will serve you in the long run. For example, choosing to wake up early and exercise isn't just about fitness, it's about building a routine of self-care and commitment. Over time, these small, disciplined choices compound into significant results. Discipline also creates clarity. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to get pulled in 100 directions. Without discipline, you might find yourself jumping from one task to another, never fully committing to anything. But when you cultivate discipline, you learn to focus. You set clear priorities and dedicate your energy to what truly matters. This clarity not only helps you achieve your goals, but also reduces stress and overwhelm. When you know where you're going and how you plan to get there, the noise of the outside world becomes less distracting. Another key benefit of discipline is resilience. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. Without discipline, it's easy to give up when things get tough. But discipline teaches you to persevere. It's the voice in your head that says, "Keep going," when everything else tells you to stop. Discipline doesn't eliminate obstacles, but it equips you to face them head-on. It helps you push through discomfort, adapt to setbacks, and stay committed to your goals even when the path forward isn't easy. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every day and putting in the effort, even when you don't feel like it. Too often, people think discipline requires rigid perfection, and when they slip up, they give up entirely. But true discipline recognizes that setbacks are part of the process. It's not about never falling, it's about getting back up every time you do. When you approach discipline with this mindset, it becomes a tool for growth rather than a source of guilt or frustration. Let's consider how discipline applies to different areas of life. In health, discipline means making choices that support your well-being. It's choosing to exercise regularly, eat nutritious foods, and get enough sleep. These choices might not always be easy, but they're investments in your long-term health and vitality. Discipline in health isn't about depriving yourself. It's about taking care of yourself so you can live a fuller, more energetic life. In relationships, discipline means showing up for the people you care about. It's making time for meaningful conversations, practicing patience, and being present in the moment. Relationships thrive when nurtured with consistent effort, and discipline ensures that you prioritize connection even when life gets busy. It's about choosing kindness even when you're frustrated, and staying committed to the people who matter most. In your career, discipline means doing the work that needs to be done, even when it's challenging or mundane. It's about staying focused on your long-term goals and resisting the urge to take shortcuts. Discipline helps you build a reputation for reliability and excellence, which can open doors to new opportunities. It's the foundation of professional growth, enabling you to consistently deliver your best work and stand out in a competitive world. Financial discipline is another crucial area. It's about managing your money wisely, setting budgets, and resisting impulsive spending. Financial discipline allows you to build stability and security, giving you the freedom to pursue your goals without the burden of financial stress. It's not about denying yourself pleasures, but about making intentional choices that align with your values and priorities. One of the challenges of discipline is overcoming resistance. There will always be days when you don't feel like putting in the effort. Maybe you're tired, discouraged, or simply unmotivated. This is where discipline truly shines. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is a constant. It's the decision to act regardless of how you feel. On those hard days, remind yourself of your why. Why did you set this goal? What's at stake if you don't follow through? Keeping your purpose in mind can help you push past resistance and stay on track. Another obstacle to discipline is fear of failure. Sometimes we avoid taking action because we're afraid of making mistakes or not living up to expectations. But discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about trying. It's about taking small steps forward, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. Failure is not the opposite of discipline, it's part of the journey. Each failure is an opportunity to learn and grow, and discipline helps you keep moving forward despite setbacks. Building discipline takes time and effort, but it's a skill that anyone can develop. Start small, focus on one habit or goal and commit to it consistently. Celebrate your progress, no matter how minor it may seem. Over time, as you see the results of your efforts, discipline will become a natural part of your routine. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Embracing the journey is about finding meaning and growth in every step of your path, not just at the destination. Too often, we focus entirely on the end goal, believing that happiness, success, or fulfillment will only come once we achieve it. But life isn't just about reaching milestones, it's about the experiences, lessons, and personal transformation that happen along the way. When you embrace the journey, you allow yourself to fully live, learn, and grow in the present moment, rather than deferring your happiness to some distant future. The journey is where life happens. Think about it. The hours you spend working toward a goal far outweigh the moments of celebration when you achieve it. If you're not enjoying or appreciating the process, you're missing out on the majority of your life. For example, someone training for a marathon might think the real reward lies in crossing the finish line. But the true value comes from the months of preparation, the discipline built, the challenges overcome, and the growth experienced during training. Crossing the finish line is simply the culmination of all those moments. Life's journey is rarely a straight line. There are detours, setbacks, and unexpected challenges. These twists and turns can feel frustrating, but they're also opportunities for growth. Every obstacle you face teaches you something about yourself. Maybe you learn resilience in the face of failure, patience during delays, or adaptability when plans change. These lessons aren't just valuable for achieving your current goal, they become part of who you are, equipping you to handle future challenges with greater confidence and wisdom. One of the biggest barriers to embracing the journey is the fear of imperfection. We often feel pressured to have everything figured out, to follow a flawless plan, or to avoid mistakes at all costs. But the reality is, growth comes from imperfection. It comes from trying, failing, and trying again. When you let go of the need to be perfect, you open yourself up to exploration and discovery. You realize that mistakes are not the end, but a natural part of the process. They teach you what doesn't work, so you can get closer to what does. Another challenge is the tendency to compare your journey to others. In today's world of social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your progress against someone else's highlight reel. But comparison is the thief of joy. Your journey is unique to you, shaped by your goals, values, and experiences. Embracing the journey means focusing on your own path and recognizing that your pace, progress, and struggles are valid. It's about finding pride in your growth, regardless of where others are on their paths. A powerful way to embrace the journey is to cultivate gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. It helps you appreciate the small wins, the lessons learned, and the support you've received along the way. When you take time to acknowledge the positives in your journey, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed by setbacks or impatient for results. Gratitude reminds you that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Mindfulness is another essential tool for embracing the journey. Being present allows you to fully experience each moment, rather than rushing through it to get to the next. When you're mindful, you notice the details of your surroundings, the emotions you're feeling, and the efforts you're making. You become more aware of the value in the process itself. For instance, if you're working on a challenging project, mindfulness helps you stay engaged and focused, rather than letting frustration or impatience take over. It transforms the act of doing into an opportunity for growth and learning. Embracing the journey also means celebrating progress, not just results. Too often we wait for big achievements to reward ourselves, overlooking the smaller victories along the way. But progress is worth celebrating, no matter how incremental. Every step forward, every challenge overcome, and every skill learned is a reason to acknowledge your efforts. Celebrating progress not only boosts motivation, but also reinforces the value of persistence and hard work. The journey isn't just about individual growth, it's also about connection. Along the way, you'll meet people who inspire, challenge, and support you. These relationships add depth and richness to your experience. Whether it's a mentor who shares valuable wisdom, a friend who cheers you on, or a teammate who collaborates with you, the people you meet along your journey can shape your perspective and fuel your progress. Embracing the journey means valuing these connections and the lessons they bring. One of the most transformative aspects of embracing the journey is the shift in mindset it creates. When you stop fixating solely on the outcome, you start to find joy and fulfillment in the process. You begin to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. You appreciate the effort and resilience required to move forward. This mindset not only makes the journey more enjoyable, but also prepares you to handle the ups and downs of life with grace and determination. To embrace the journey fully, it's important to align your actions with your values. When your daily efforts reflect what truly matters to you, the journey feels more meaningful. For example, if you value creativity, find ways to incorporate it into your work or hobbies. If you value health, prioritize habits that support your well-being. When your actions align with your values, the journey becomes a reflection of who you are, not just a means to an end. One of the most profound realizations that comes from embracing the journey is understanding that fulfillment doesn't come from external achievements, but from within. The sense of purpose, pride, and contentment you feel along the way is far more enduring than the fleeting excitement of reaching a goal. This doesn't mean goals aren't important, they are. But the journey is where you discover your strength, your resilience, and your capacity for growth. It's also important to recognize that the journey is ongoing. There's no final destination where everything becomes perfect. Life is a series of journeys, each one building on the last. When you embrace this perspective, you're less likely to feel disheartened by setbacks or unfulfilled by achievements. Instead, you see each phase of life as an opportunity to grow, learn, and contribute. Embracing the journey requires patience. In a fast-paced world, we're often tempted to seek quick fixes or shortcuts. But true growth takes time. Patience allows you to stay committed, even when progress feels slow. It reminds you that the most meaningful achievements are often the result of sustained effort and perseverance. Patience also helps you stay present, appreciating the process rather than rushing through it. Another key aspect of embracing the journey is adaptability. Plans change, circumstances shift, and unexpected challenges arise. When you're flexible and open to change, you're better equipped to navigate these uncertainties. Adaptability doesn't mean abandoning your goals. It means finding new ways to pursue them when the path ahead shifts. It's about staying focused on your vision while remaining open to new possibilities. Ultimately, embracing the journey is about choosing to live fully. It's about finding meaning in the process, growth in the challenges, and joy in the small moments. It's about recognizing that the journey itself is what shapes you, prepares you, and defines you. When you embrace the journey, you stop chasing happiness and start creating it. You realize that every step you take, no matter how small or difficult, is part of a greater story, a story of progress, resilience, and self-discovery.